Hi everybody, my name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club, and today we're going to be answering the question, how long does it take for an RV refrigerator to cool off once it's been turned on? I'm going to be using a Dometic refrigerator. It's brand new when I did this test, and it's a 6 cubic foot gas electric refrigerator. We're going to be doing all of these tests with the electric only, not the gas. Some people might say gas a little quicker, but it's about the same, you guys. So we're going to run it off electric, as that's how most people are going to start up their refrigerators before they go on a trip. For those of you that are impatient and just want the answer real quick and simple, it's about 10 degrees per hour is how fast your refrigerator is going to cool off if it's in perfect working order and everything is working out just right. So if you have 75 degrees, if you're going from 110 to 35 degrees, that's you're in Arizona or something, it's going to take you divide that by 10, it's going to get you about 7.5, 7.5 hours is a rough estimate. For those of you that want some tips and tricks and to see how I came to that conclusion, what we're going to do is put some time lapses and thermometers inside the freezer and the fridge and actually see how long it really takes to cool off. Before we get into that, just a few tips for those of you that are new to this whole thing and you want to get the most out of this. A really big helpful tip is going to be to put all of your food in your refrigerator at home before you go on the trip. Sodas, everything. 'Cause a lot of people put the warm sodas, just sitting around in the RV and then they throw them in the fridge. That's like a little hot cube that's going to really heat up your entire fridge before it cools off. So keep everything that you're going to put into the refrigerator in the RV in your fridge at home. Get it all nice and cold beforehand and turn on your RV refrigerator the night before. That will make sure the temperature's down, all the insulation and interior walls are all cooled off. And then you move that cold food into the cold fridge, and that's really going to help you out. If you put a bunch of hot stuff in the fridge, even if it's cold, it's going to warm up that interior space, and then it's got to cool everything back down again. And if you have chicken and some other stuff in there that you don't want to heat up at all, start with everything nice and cold. That's a huge tip, and it's really going to help you out. That's really about it for the tips. I mean, that's really what you want to do, is just make sure everything's nice and cold when you put it in there. Now, for my refrigerator test, it's only about 60 degrees here in Colorado when I did this test, so I realized if you're in Arizona, it's going to be a lot hotter, but the principle is going to be the same. So I put the first test here, we're going to do the freezer, and I have a thermometer inside of the freezer, and what I'm going to put up here is also going to show the inside temperature of the RV. So they're both at 60, they're both evened out, and now we're going to start that up and see how fast that goes down. And so this ran for about 3 hours, and I realized it got below freezing, but I ran this test the entire time until the refrigerator was at the right temperature, 35 degrees. So I let it run a little bit longer, which is fine. So after about 3 hours, it went from 60 degrees to 15 degrees. So that's a difference of 45 degrees. And if you divide that, well, if you do the math on that, it works out to about 15 degrees per hour is what the freezer cooled off at. That's the rate that the freezer cooled off, 15 degrees per hour. So you can probably just do the math on that for your own starting temperatures. The freezer tended to cool off faster than the refrigerator did. So now what we're going to do is run the same test, but with the thermometer in the refrigerator here. And that's going to start off at 70 degrees. It's 76 in the RV and it's 70 in the refrigerator, but that's okay. So we're going to start that test and let it run. And what we're going to end up with is going from 5:30 to 9:30 for a total of 4 hours. And that is a drop, basically when you do the math on all of that, it's about 9 degrees per hour is how fast that cooled off, which is good. But for the sake of argument, and your fridge might not be brand new out of the box, I'd probably go with 10 degrees per hour. And that's how I came up with that number. So if you're in Arizona and it's 110 degrees and you want to get it down to 35 degrees, that's a difference of 75 degrees. Divide that by 10, 7.5. You're going to have 7.5 hours to get that refrigerator nice and cool. So about 8 hours. And so like I said, start it the day before, and that's really going to help you get to where you need to be when you put that cold food in there. And then you're off and running. You disconnect from electric, you fire up the gas or whatever, and you go. And that's really going to be the best way to start your trip so you don't have any spoiled food and it lasts that much longer and you're going to be in good shape. So that's about all the information I have on that. I hope it helped you out. My name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club, and if this did help you out, please like, share, subscribe. It really does do me a lot of favors and helps me keep these videos coming. So my name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club, and until the next video, thanks so much for watching and happy camping.